Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday's guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. And I'm Wai Cheong. So we'll be doing our usual two meditations. The first one will be one on calm abiding, exploring how through meditation we can help body and mind to calm their respective reactivities. For example, in the case of body, how is it possible for us to persuade the body to release a lot of those unnecessary contractions and tensions and tightenings? And as for the mind, the reactivity of the mind, quite often in the form of agitation, restlessness, in the form of compulsive, involuntary thinking. So what sort of conditions we can create to facilitate the mind to calm down, to release some of those agitation, to put aside some of those thinking. So in general, I suggest that we start with mindfulness of body, returning our attention to be in touch with bodily sensations. So there are many ways to do that, but any ways that allow us to come back to be more aware of just the current states of the body, not even in any kind of penetrative way, just to come back to be in touch with how the body is feeling, re-establishing or healing the connection between body and mind. And this will greatly facilitate our body in its own way, based on its own natural intelligence. The body will be able to adjust itself, will be able to respond to that by slowly, gradually releasing all those different kinds of contractions and tensions that are not necessary. And with that release, it's a kind of release phenomena. There is often a rising of pleasant feelings, pleasant sensations from within the meditation as a result of that kind of physical release. These pleasant sensations, pleasant feelings are usually pretty mild or faint, although sometimes it can get quite intense, maybe of short duration, but that does not matter. Once we are able to notice those feelings, those pleasant feelings, we invite them into our awareness, make them a part of our meditative experience and allow ourselves to enjoy them. So this is mindfulness of feelings, in particular mindfulness of pleasant feelings. And this has the added advantage that it's very reassuring to our mind. The fact that we are able to detect and notice pleasant sensations within our own experience is a signal to our mind that, everything is going fine, everything is all right. And that, in general, helps to calm down the reactivity of the mind. Not completely, but you'll find that the mind will start to release some of the agitations or the anxiety. Thoughts becomes a little bit less compulsive. Maybe there's increasingly there will be a period of time where even thinking itself may just stop by itself. So, and of course, that naturally leads us to the third aspect, which is mindfulness of the mind. As body and mind are able to calm their reactivities within our own meditative experience, we become very aware of our own mind, the qualities of the attention. What are the different factors that might be influencing the functioning of the mind, of our consciousness or awareness? So this is a natural kind of progression. I like to think of it this way. And meditative practice, if we are able to tap into this natural progression, first mindfulness of body, naturally to mindfulness of feeling, and then mindful awareness of our own mind and its functions, then we find that our own meditation will become, in a way, the journey will become much smoother. We start to figure out what to expect in each of the stage and how better we are able to facilitate that transition. So today, in the first meditation, I invite you to give a greater emphasis to mindfulness of feelings, in particular, the pleasant sensations that arise as a part of our meditative practice. But at the same time, we can acknowledge any discomfort or unpleasant feelings we notice, areas of tightness that come across as very uncomfortable. So we acknowledge those unpleasant sensations and feelings, but we don't need to really focus on that. Instead, we nurture the pleasant sensations by giving them the energy of our attention. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll guide you through this method of returning our attention to our own body, and just by a very simple way, inviting the different sensations at the different parts of the body to just come into our awareness and see what happens. Right. So as usual, please find a suitable meditation posture for yourself, for your body, sitting on the chair, sitting on the floor in the cross-leg position. You can lie down on your back in the privacy of your own place. So take a few moments and adjust your posture. So make sure that the posture you have adopted allow your body to settle in quite comfortably. It's not causing you unnecessary pain or discomfort. Allow the back or spine to be upright in the natural way if you're sitting, or for it to be straight if you're lying down. Rest your hands and arms on some kind of physical support so that the weight of your arms are well supported and you don't have to tense up your shoulder muscles excessively in order to hold up both arms. Feel free to close your eyes completely, or if you are more familiar with having them open or half open, so whichever way is fine. We start by paying notice to the sensations coming through at the points of contact between our body and our seat, our body and the ground in this posture. See if we can let into awareness sensations of solidity, of firmness and stability, sensations we associate with the earth element. And to convey a message to our own body, to our own system, that in this posture, our body is well supported, well balanced, and safe. Having a stable, comfortable posture really helps to encourage our body to loosen up, to unwind, and in its own time, our body can let go of some of those unnecessary tightenings and contractions. And as you let go or release these tensions, these contractions, you will be able to really settle down more comfortably into the meditation posture. So that is the first step, acquiring a suitable seat or posture for our body in meditation. Next, we're going to spend quite a bit of time just to help our body and mind to shift gears, to transition into meditation. Try to create a condition that facilitates both body and mind to calm down, to release some of those unnecessary reactivities. So I invite you to let into your mindful awareness sensations from the different parts of the body. As I mentioned, the names of the different parts of the body. See if you can, without unnecessary effort, simply invite the sensations present here to come fully into your awareness, into your consciousness, so that you're able to notice, able to be aware of all those simple bodily sensations, starting at the crown of the head, the topmost part of our body. See if we can notice what sort of sensations are present here at the crown. Allow those very subtle, simple sensations to come into awareness. Maybe a little bit of tingling sensation or buzzing sensation, a slight feeling of pressure, warmth, coolness, maybe nothing at all. Without much effort, simply be aware. We can quiet down and welcome those sensations into our awareness. Moving on from the crown, how about our face? What sort of sensations may be present at our face? Are we tensing up any of the facial muscles, tightening the muscles of the forehead, or muscles around the eyes? Are we unconsciously clenching our jaw? And as we become aware of those sensations in the face, as those sensations come into our awareness, see if is it possible for us to gently relax those facial muscles. See if we can welcome in a different feeling, one of softness, of ease and comfort into our own face. And to allow ourselves to notice and appreciate those mild, pleasant sensations, if they do arise, welcome them into our field of attention and allow ourselves to enjoy them while they're here. Keeping the face soft, relaxed, at ease, we can move on and notice sensations coming through from our throat, our neck, and our shoulders. Here it is quite common for people to store quite a bit of tension and tightenings, along with uncomfortable, unpleasant sensations. So if we do notice that here, see if we can also practice mindfulness, mindful of those unpleasant sensations, and simply acknowledge them while they're here. Allow them to just be here for the moment. We allow sensations from both arms to come into awareness, to allow ourselves to notice pretty mild, subtle sensations in our upper arms, sensations at the level of the skin, in the muscles, or at the joints, sensations at both elbows maybe. And how about those sensations in the forearms, all the way to the wrists? And we can also allow sensations in both hands to come into awareness. So much so that we notice sensations at the palm of the hands, at the back of the hands, and sensations in the fingers all the way to the fingertips. So now that we are aware of such simple sensations, nothing spectacular, nothing unusual, see if we can give permission and just allow both arms to rest their weight comfortably on their physical support. Coming back to our own body, see if we can notice sensations at the chest. What sort of sensations are we able to let into our awareness? Throughout the meditation, we may find that our attention has a tendency to wander off, to be preoccupied with other things. Could be sounds, could be thoughts, memories, fantasies, or some inner conversations. So all of these are pretty normal. Again and again, we simply invite our attention to be back here and now, and to let into awareness the bodily sensations from the different parts of our body. Maybe we can sense the movements associated with breathing, or feel the beating of our own heart. Notice the sensations both at the front of the body and also at the back of the body. Gently coming back to here and now. Once again, allowing sensations to come fully into awareness. Notice sensations coming from the abdomen. Sensations at the skin level, at the muscles, deep within the body, maybe from the organs. Sensations from the front part of the body, sensations from the back, such as the lower back. Coming back to here and now, in particular, see if we can practice be more mindful of any pleasant sensations that may arise within our experience. However mild or faint they may be, pleasant sensations, interesting sensations. Welcome them into awareness, allow them to be here for as long as possible, and allow ourselves to enjoy them while they're here. How about sensations coming forth from the pelvic region, the pelvis, where powerful muscles are attached? Sensations from the various organs here, maybe sensing the weight of the pelvis resting on the seat. See if we can give permission. Just imagine allowing the weight of the pelvis, maybe also the upper body, to rest comfortably here on the seat. Surrender that weight to gravity. We allow sensations from both legs to come into awareness, starting from the hip joints, sensations from the upper legs all the way down to the knees. Once again, these are simple sensations, a little bit of tingling here and there, tightness, relaxation, heaviness, lightness, some buzzing sensation maybe. From the knee, be aware of sensations from the lower legs all the way to the ankles. Not looking for anything unusual or spectacular, but simply being happy to be here and to welcome all these different sensations into our awareness, including any sense of relaxation or physical release of tension. Welcome those mild, pleasant feelings into our awareness. And become aware of sensations from both feet. Allow those sensations to come fully into awareness. Sensations from the soles of the feet, the top of the feet, and those sensations in the toes. And having awakened all these various sensations in both legs, see if we can now give permission and allow both legs to rest their weight comfortably on the floor or whatever physical support they are on. Just surrender that weight to gravity. Rest the body here in this posture without collapsing, but simply allow the body in its own way and at its own time to get used to the posture, to be more and more comfortable, and progressively release at its own timing any unnecessary tightness and contraction. Rest our mind, our awareness here and now with the body in this present moment, so that we are aware and notice the changing physical sensations in the body, as well as noticing the different kinds of feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, that might be present here. See if we can give special emphasis and allow ourselves to enjoy any pleasant feelings that arise from within our meditation, and allow those pleasant feelings to reassure ourselves, reassure our mind, help the mind to calm down and to release its own reactivities. So make the experiences unfolding this moment as a support for your attention. You can invite your attention to come back here and now and be aware of bodily sensations. You can specify to be aware of breath sensations if you are used to that, or the sounds in the surrounding can serve as a support for our attention, inviting us to come back to this moment. And if we do notice a significant amount of pleasant sensations arising, then we can make those pleasant feelings the support for our attention and invite our awareness, our attention to be here with those present feelings while they are here, while they last, enjoying them. Nothing spectacular as I repeat myself, just faint, mild, comfortable feelings. Resting here and now, being aware of body, being in touch with our own body and its changing sensations, be in touch with feelings, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. Almost automatically, we become more aware of our own mind, our own consciousness. Check in from time to time and notice the quality of your attention in this meditation. Notice what are the factors that might be present, influencing our attention, influencing our own mind. Are we feeling a bit dull, sleepy, drowsy? The inner space of awareness is getting a bit dim and dark and heavy. Or maybe we notice quite a fair bit of energy or reactivity, activity in the form of thinking, remembering, fantasizing, commenting, judging. Or maybe on occasions we notice a strange sense of stillness, of silence within, when the mind is very much present and alert and awake, just happy to be here with bodily sensations, with feelings, with thoughts, not going anywhere, not getting lost in thoughts. And again, we invite our attention to be back here. We open the scope of awareness and welcome in the different experiences that are happening in this moment. Bodily sensations, feelings, thoughts, memories. See if we can rest our mind, our attention, and awareness in this present moment. Okay, so there is sort of my way of settling body and mind into a state of calm abiding, or maybe not anywhere near to some perfect state of deep meditative absorption. But personally, I find that this progression, mindfulness of body to feeling, to mindfulness of the mind, quite helpful. It's a sequence. It's quite easy to relate to, and I find that if we sort of play around with it and just change the conditions and find out what works best for us, might not be so difficult for us to start to approach the state of calm abiding. Not in the sense of any perfect state, but finding that our experience are able to shift within, let's say just now is about 25 minutes of meditation, should shift in the so-called right direction. And that is something very positive and encouraging. Okay, so on Monday, I sort of said that over the next few sessions of guided meditation, I have decided to have a different theme to explore or to revisit mindfulness, especially mindfulness practice in terms of the formulation based on this acronym RAIN, RAIN. And we started off with R, recognize. So today we can also take this opportunity to practice recognizing, recognition, recognizing the different elements in our experience, the different things that come forth or might be present in the sphere of our awareness and consciousness, and to become good at recognizing. Recognizing is like recognizing, as I say, to call a spade, recognize tension as tension, relaxation as relaxation, to recognize all the myriad different kind of sensations that are pleasant as pleasant, or unpleasant as unpleasant, or neutral. Neutral means we can't easily differentiate, or that we can call that sensations pleasant nor unpleasant. So it landed in this third category of being neutral. And also to become more acquainted and recognize the different kind of mental activity, to be able to see thinking as thinking, daydreaming as daydreaming, remembering as remembering, or to be able to notice the different states of mind, like when we are angry, so we know, oh, that's anger. We are sort of feeling down, low mood, to be able to recognize that as such, or the opposite, we get very excited, to recognize it. And today I thought to suggest a variation is we tend to, when we do recognizing, or just in general meditation, we have a tendency to sort of view the different experiences, the different happenings in our meditation as objects, or as specific experience. So we tend to, in a subtle way, solidify them. Pain is pain, a solid lump of pain. Pleasure is pleasure, another solid lump of experience called pleasure. Let's say thinking as thoughts. We tend to lump them together, think of the thoughts, or many thoughts, distressing thoughts. Anger as anger. Instead, all these different so-called objects of experience or experiences are constantly changing. Take the breath. I used to practice a technique where I label the breath. Breathe in, I label in. When I breathe out, I label out. But after a while, you notice that actually the actual happening is not quite the same as the label. The label is just one word in, whereas the actual experience is like a kind of process. You can almost, it's very easy to notice the start of the in-breath, breathing in, the inhalation, and the middle of it, and you are approaching the end of the inhalation. And there's this pause, and even the pause itself Seemingly nothing happened. Yet there's a sense that there is a kind of subtle shift, a turning. Even the pause itself is changing. The pausing, and then of course we can the other movement, exhalation, or breathing out. There's the beginning of the breathing out, the middle, and then the end, and then yet another pause before the inhalation begins. So the experiences themselves are changing right in front of our mind's eye. So, and likewise, pain and pleasure are also changing. Pain, especially, may at first seems as a very solid thing, but on closer inspection, it's never constant. It's just this wave of sensations, sometimes flaring up and sometimes receding, never quite go away. Sometimes, when we are uncomfortable, and it just keeps changing and moving. And also restlessness, which is very hard to pinpoint. A particular sensation here and there, and yet it seems to this overall feelings, and it seems to move and change. And thoughts are never a solid thing. Thoughts, in fact, it's better to call thinking, because the moment you notice it, it's already finishing, moving on to yet another thing, and it's always unfolding. The narrative, especially if we are telling ourselves a story, it's always ongoing, moving. The words, the images, the memories, the feelings that are triggered. Anger is also the same. We experience the changing sensations of anger, changing the thinking, the feeling, the bodily reactions, all are changing. So I think we can practice recognition in the next section, but recognizing, seeing a little bit deeper, coming closer to the true nature of those experiencing, that in the midst of experiencing, they are already changing, and they never stay static. It's never possible for us to hold on to something as unchanging, as fixed. In fact, it's always in the state of impermanence, which can be very helpful, because then we know that even pain itself undergoes change. Even the experience of depression itself is not a constant. Of course, there are certain things, certain repetitive patterns to it, but moment to moment, the experience is changing. And sometimes, in the midst of a state, we say, I'm depressed or I'm anxious, we could have some surprisingly different experience. We suddenly find something very funny. We are actually, for a brief moment, actually quite light-hearted and joyful, whereas, and then of course later, that pass and some other experiences arise. So I suggest in this next meditation, using the breath as a support to recognize this nature of change within each moment of experiencing in the various different so-called experiences or happenings that will come into our awareness. And if you like, you can label them. You don't have to, but you might want to label them with appropriate words, especially to do with thinking, just to help us see clearly what is happening. Then we can be a bit more precise, remembering, daydreaming, storytelling, planning. So it's up to you. Right? Try to notice not only what is happening, but also the fact that they are themselves in a state of change. So let's do another meditation together. So settle our body back into the meditation posture. Allow our body to find its way into the posture for meditation we have adopted. Once again, noticing the sensations of solidity, firmness, and stability beneath us, to establish a very firm basis for our body to rest on our seat in this posture, and to be reassured that the whole posture is supportive of the body, and allow the body to, in its own time, to release some of those unnecessary contractions and tensions. In this meditation, we're going to make use of the sensations related to breathing as a support for our attention, repeatedly inviting those breath sensations to come into the scope of our awareness, for us to notice them, to be aware of them, to be with them. So see if we can become aware, especially as we quiet down internally, to become aware of the sensations of our natural breathing, such that we are able to fully experience the process of inhalation and exhalation. Breath sensations, ever-changing breath sensations, may be noticed at different parts of the body. And I suggest you don't have to focus on a particular spot in the body. Just allow yourself to enjoy and to welcome in that wave-like changing sensations of the breath to come into awareness. Breath sensations may be detected around the nostrils, where we can feel the touch of the air as it flows in and out of the body. There are breath sensations happening at the chest, movements of expansion and contraction. And maybe there are also breath sensations at the abdomen, movements of rising and falling. And as we settle down and become more sensitive, within the space of our awareness, we may even detect other subtler sensations related to breathing. We make all of these changing sensations of the breath the support for our attention, allowed our awareness to be with the sensations of breathing. And when we do get distracted, the attention is preoccupied with other things, not to be upset or frustrated. Simply invite attention to come back to reconnect with the sensations of the breath. Or simply allow breath sensations to come fully into awareness. And in the midst of all this, see if we can give special attention to the out breath, to the process of breathing out. Quite often there is a subtle sense of relaxation or release that goes along with the out breath. Tune into that feeling of release. And see if we can make use of breathing out as an opportunity to deepen release. Not only can we release the carbon dioxide, the stale air in our lungs, maybe we can persuade the body to release some of those unnecessary tightenings and contractions. Maybe the mind can put aside some of its reactivities, some of the words, the images, the thoughts, some of all these unnecessary or unwanted experiences may just flow away with the out breath. So with the help of the changing sensations of the breath as an anchor, as a support, allowing these sensations to come again and again into awareness. See if we can also notice and be mindful of other happenings within our meditation alongside the breath. Other times of bodily sensations, the different parts of the body, tensing, relaxing, tightening, loosening. Also within awareness, notice the arising of pleasant sensations, pleasant feelings, them changing, maybe even fading away. And likewise the same, acknowledge unpleasant sensations, areas of discomfort, and notice how those sensations are also changing. Coming back here and now with the help of this, with the support of the breath sensations, see if we can recognize tension as tension, relaxation as relaxation. Recognize pleasant sensations, pleasant feelings as such, and unpleasant feelings also. And also recognize the variety of mental activities or reactivities. Thinking, different forms of thinking, remembering, fantasizing, commenting, worrying. And always we invite our awareness, our attention to come back, to be in touch with what is happening here and now in the present moment. To be aware maybe of sounds in the surrounding, of the sensations of inhalation, exhalation, the body tensing, relaxing. Coming back to here and now, welcoming the sensations of breathing to come fully into awareness. And take this opportunity to practice the recognizing aspects of mindfulness, recognizing the different happenings within our body and mind, in our environment, and not only to be able to recognize these different experiences, also to recognize that they are changing in the midst of us being aware of them. The change is an integral part of all of these experiences. So coming back to the present moment here and now, allowing into the space of our awareness, the ever-changing sensations of our own breath flowing in and out, and alongside the breath, to be mindful and to recognize the changing experiences, different experiences that come into our awareness, be it what is unfolding here and now, the sounds, the bodily sensations, the different kinds of feelings, pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. And also to be aware of the happenings within our own mind, whether the mind is constantly distracted elsewhere by thoughts, by thinking, or the mind is coming under the influence of drowsiness, dullness. Or maybe on occasion, the mind is able to be at peace and at ease, to be present here and now. As we continue with the meditation, see if we can notice whether the ability to be mindfully aware and to recognize the different kind of happenings and experiencing in our meditation. Does it have any kind of positive effect? Does it help to facilitate any positive change in our experiences? Okay, so thank you very much for your attention this evening. I hope you have a good week ahead and hope to see you next Wednesday. So, good evening.